All right, welcome to Safe Spaces Pod. Today we're joined by really one of my better friends and someone that I've experienced a lot with in life, and he's just an unbelievable human being. So it's gonna be fun to get his insight and talk to him a little bit. So Tony, welcome to the pod, and if you have anything you want to say, introduce yourself, whatever, go for it.
No, dude, Franny, bro. It's just no, it's great to catch up, bro. It's actually been a while because obviously we're distance away right now, so and we have been since high school. So it's always nice to chat and anytime around the year because obviously we only really get to see each other in the summer these years now. So it's always nice to catch up, and I'm glad you're doing something like this, bro. It's fun to get on something like this and talk, bro. It's nice.
For sure, yeah. And the time difference really messes things up. Like both of us are not the best communicators in general. And then
No, dude.
if you add in 2 hours, you're really screwed. So this is for us, like for the listeners, this is actually me and Tony catching up. So this is gonna be exciting for me as well.
Yeah. No, if for listeners, anyone who knows me, I'm pretty fucking shitty with my phone. So I'm just, it's no disrespect to anyone. I don't know. I've always sucked with using my phone. So I'm more like, I'm so much more like, I love being in person. I'd much rather do that. But that's what I'm saying. And I'd always like, much rather catch up over the phone rather than like texting and stuff.
100%. The phone call is something one of our mutual friends taught me at least, and it's huge. Like I use it in college. I use it to this day. Like if I'm calling a girl, I don't text her. I call her on the phone. Or if I really need to figure out like where my friend is, I'm not sending a text. It's a call now, and it's actually helpful to be honest.
Exactly. I'm the same way. Exactly.
Yeah. So first off, just tell our viewers where you're like basically from and what it was like to grow up there because I know you live in a great area and there's a lot of I don't know excitement in the town you're from for so many different reasons. It's got a beach, it's got a Division 1 sports team, it's got the best
Yeah.
bar in the county, I would say. So like just talk to me about where you grow up and what it was like to grow up there.
Yeah, dude, it's cool. So, I mean, just from the start, I was born though in Canada, where my mom's from, well, Ontario. So that's kind of cool. But I've never really lived there, except I did a year of eighth grade there. My parents wanted to like straighten me out, so I went over there. So, but regardless of that, dude, I grew up in Fairfield, Connecticut, my whole life, and it's a pretty unique town, dude. It's like it's crazy because it's in Fairfield County, and for anybody who knows Fairfield County, it's a very kind of like more ritzy area. um, and so there's a ton to do. There's a lot of good food places. There's just a ton of stuff to do, and especially as a kid growing up, it's great. Like the little league leagues were fun as hell. Basketball was fun as heck. Very competitive little town. You got like a lot of kids who have a lot of money, and then we're really close to Bridgeport, so you kind of have kids who are not with a little bit of lesser money too. So it's kind of cool. There's some diversity in the town, but I've always loved living here because as you know, we're basketball players, and to always like push limits. I mean, I kind of grew up going crossing the line and going over there to Bridgeport and playing. So I thought growing up here gave me a great, unique experience growing up because I feel like I'm just kind of more. How do I word this? Just in a better place now in terms of going into like any setting and thriving in that setting. Just because I feel like I've been around a lot of different types of people. So
Yeah, if there's something I know about you, you're pretty much comfortable anywhere. And I think a lot of that has to do with, I don't know, the diversity of people in Fairfield. And I think it's a great thing because it's such a cool town. And one thing I love about Fairfield is the fact that there's three big high schools. Like,
yeah,
to be in
yeah,
a town where you have rivals, like legitimate rivals and beefs between schools, is something that's really
yeah,
exciting. And I was lucky enough to be a part of a little bit of it for my freshman and sophomore year, but I was
exactly.
it's an unbelievable environment like that. Oh no, for high school, sorry. And that
I was gonna say
Christmas
I didn't want to cut you off, but that's what I was gonna say.
and the types of high schools are awesome too. You've got kind of lower income, not even lower income, but just uh, kind of far removed Christian school or Catholic school. I'm not sure which one it is. Then you've got
Yeah.
like the hotsy
Oh yeah.
totsy Jesuit all boys prep school. Then you just got two regular public schools that are pretty big and have a lot of talent. So it's an exciting mixture of teams and personalities, honestly.
Yeah, it is. That's what I'm saying. It's just it's great. So I think growing up here was definitely a good area to grow up in. And as you know me, I'm Italian family over here, so it's kind of funny being like a very Italian family over here with more so people who are more American, or at least the Italians that are here are more like Americanized. I would say our family's more like the more on the more like real Italian side. So it's always been. I feel like we everyone's always noticed that about our family growing up, just being like Italian. So, but no, it's been enjoyable to live in Fairfield and just in the and just being in Fairfield. Not just itself; it's around just a lot. I mean, we're freaking, we're a train ride out of New York City, so it's like it's definitely a very cool area to grow up in.
Yeah, and it's an easy train ride to Yankee Stadium. There's just like a lot of stuff going on from there, which is ideal. But you brought this up, and I was going to bring this up later in the pod, but just being Italian, and that's probably the biggest thing I took away from our friendship was you always put family first in every sense of the way, and whether it was Sunday dinner or missing events because you had to take care of family stuff, it was something that really impressed me as your friend, and it also just set a really good example. So, can you tell the listeners about what it means to put family first? Because I think you do a great job of exemplifying that.
Yeah, I think no, definitely. I'm glad you see that. That's great. And yeah, dude, family first. I mean, it sounds pretty simple, family first. But I mean, for me, it's just I think if you're from a very Italian family, I think that definitely resonates with you at some point. Maybe some more than others, but I'd say for my family, it's like a really big thing. It's almost like if you don't put your family first, it's almost like a sin. You know what I mean? Like if your family needs anything, like you stop whatever you're doing in order to do that. And my dad, just growing up with my dad, obviously him. He just like he freaking drilled that in like me, my brother, and my little sister's head like from day one. Just like he always just said like you're gonna meet tons of people in your life, and you're gonna like them, you're gonna hate some people, love them, whatever. You're gonna grow great friendships with people, but like he said that at the end of the day, you always said like, as much as it sucks that a lot of those relationships may fade off, and you are only going to keep like some of the close ones, and just he said the one thing that you're always going to have though is like your family, and that like that's why it's just like the only thing you got in life pretty much. Like my dad always just pretty much said like your best friend is like your brother. So like me and my brother growing up, we've like kind of been like best friends. We have a good relationship, and yeah, dude, my mom, anybody that goes down the line, just family. If you're part of my family, and even my close friends, I count close friends as my family too. If anyone ever really needs this, my dad interrupting me right now, I'm gonna have to tell him to be quiet for a sec. But yeah, no, it's just always been family first, even with close friends. If they ever need anything, I feel like my friends know that I got them. So, but yeah, that's just always how it's been.
No, 100%. And you brought up your brother. I love your guys' relationship because you guys are just both competitive SOBs and you're both really hard workers and talented. So like when you guys battle, you really battle. But talk to me about growing up with a brother as talented as your brother, and talk to me about how that pushed you. And I think the way your brother carries himself is really impressive. And so I just wanted you to talk about growing up with such like a strong role model in that regard.
Yeah, dude. Yeah, Giacomo is or my brother. He's definitely Jack is definitely he's just he's definitely the biggest influencer, yeah, biggest role model in my life. He's for anyone who knows him. He's been through a lot. Going through cancer at a young age, and he's been through just every up and down of life you could imagine, and he's always stood the same. Whether he's up or down, he's always kept the same demeanor about himself. And like when you're growing up, seeing that, it's like it makes you like really grateful, man. Like it's just I just I try to you got to cherish like the little things in life. That's what he really showed me. But growing up with him, dude, it was amazing, man. Like having an older brother was like I feel like everybody like little brother's dream. So that was great. But it was like it kind of sucked because this kid was fucking better than me in everything. Dude. Like, he whooped my ass and everything. Like literally, it didn't matter. Like, video game, anything, dude, you name it. Like, he was just way better than me at everything. And it was like, so as a little kid getting competitive, like, we would get pissed. And as little kids, like, we used to fight all the time. And without all love, we used to fight and get really competitive. But that died down as we got older because obviously we just, we started to get older and realize, our relationship and, we just grew, but I think all of that kind of made us grow closer, to be honest, all of just that. But like you said, just having him always like push me, and I mean, it was like I always had someone like to like lead the way. Like I played baseball and basketball growing up, and he thrived in both of those sports, and so like I always had somebody to like kind of teach me, and it was great. And he really growing up was usually like he just he thrived, so it was cool to have him as a brother, man. It really was. It was special, and I loved playing the years that we played together. So it was great, dude.
And you still do, which is cool. Like it's funny whenever you come to a pickup, it's a package deal. Like Giacomo and your cousin Gio are going to be there, which is hilarious, and we love it. It's like it's the best thing going. It's just like the way the Sopranos roll, which is it's like what I was saying. Like you are an example of a family man, which is at a young age pretty cool because you don't see it a lot, especially where we're from when everything's a pressure cooking, fast paced environment. People don't make time for family, and you
Yeah.
do. And okay, so you brought it up. We don't need to go too far into it, but I want to talk about this one moment with you, just as a brother. It was right after your brother's diagnosis. That Christmas tournament that we were referring to earlier was happening, and I don't know. I want you to walk me through what happened, but I heard that game was probably the most special thing of all time. Like what he was able to do on that court. I'll let you explain it because you would do a way better job. But and you know what I'm talking about, right?
Are you talking about the like his last? I think what you might be talking about was the. Are you talking about the we were playing? You were talking about the holiday tournament.
Yeah, the one where he just got diagnosed. He took some type of treatment a few days before, and he played.
Yeah, no. So this was at the Crosstown Rivals.
Oh, okay. Sorry.
Yeah, yeah. So that was so basically my brother got diagnosed when I was a freshman and he was a junior, and I'll never forget it actually. So the way I found out was I was playing my first freshman JV game. So when I was a freshman, I played JV. So I played that. I lit it up, had like a really good game, and then I sat varsity. And my brother was obviously playing varsity at the time. So I'm sitting there on the freaking bench just watching the game. My brother's doing great, having a good game. We win the first game, so we start 1-0, which was good for Ward because prior to these years, the school was terrible. So, anyways, so we start 1-0, but throughout the game, I noticed my mom was like tearing up throughout the game. So I was like, what the fuck? I'm like 14, 15, like what the fuck's going on? So then after the game, I find out that he was diagnosed and everything, and that he had to obviously stop playing shortly. So he played like, I think it was like 4 or 5 games, but the last game was against our crosstown rival. And it was amazing, dude. Like the whole town came out, bro. It was sold out, man. And like we had a bunch of shirts. They were the undefeatable shirts with my brother's baseball and basketball numbers on them, and they literally like sold out within like 5-10 minutes. It was like insane, man. It was honestly it was crazy. I that game I just remember like having like goosebumps like the whole game. It was just like crazy. I don't know. I felt like I was really living in a dream that game. But I kid you not, man. That was the first day. My brother, the day prior was the first day he got his treatment. And one of the treatments he got it's called like spinal tap, and for anyone that knows, that like really puts a toll on like your back and just pain and just constant like just aches, and you get really weak on it too. And so this morning, the morning of the game, he for anyone that knows high school, you gotta like go to high school for like a couple periods or half the day so that you can play in the game. I remember in the morning of that day, he legit like didn't go to school in the morning because he like couldn't get out of bed. He like felt so sick, and he was telling like our dad and me that he's gonna like play tonight. Me and my dad were looking at each other like, dude, like we should just like tell the coach like he's not playing tonight, like because it was supposed to be his last game and everything. So I go to school that morning and I'm like, all right, well, whatever. And then next thing you know, I see him like a couple hours later walking in the hallway. So I'm like, holy shit, all right, well, he's at school. Okay, God willing. And then next thing you know, I mean, this kid's warming up later that day to play the game. And I remember like the first play of the game, one of the kid on the other team's best player, he was just coming across the lane, I think for some layup or something. And he like got up and sent it into the crowd, and everyone was going crazy. Like the first play, he scored he had a great first half. It was amazing. Like he freaking lit it up in the first half, and then it was kind of sad. Like in the second half, he didn't play that much, but you can kind of tell like he just it hit. It almost looked like God was just kind of willing him through the first half, just kind of giving him his last play before he had to go through treatment. Because then like the second half, he was totally worn out. Like he didn't really have it. But that first half, he was like just playing on I think like strictly adrenaline.
No, it was incredible. I wasn't there, but I've heard about it, and I definitely knew it was a first half thing, but just that I didn't even know the lead up, and that's amazing that your mom kept it from you. It makes sense too, like she didn't want you to worry, but that had to be like a surreal type of post game. I like because post games are hard, but that one had to be probably the hardest one you've had ever.
Yeah. Oh, it was, dude. Because I remember being so anxious, like to go home and like ask my mom, like, "Hey, what the heck are you crying of?" Because it's so like weird and obviously nerve wracking as a kid, like see your mom crying at a game. Like,
Yeah.
usually everybody's happy at a game in this. So I just remember her telling me and literally freaking just crying my eyes out in the shower for probably like an hour. Just like, I don't know, it was like crazy. I'll never forget that. And then that night, and remind you, I'm like 14, 15 years old at this time. Like I remember this night, I slept with my parents, like, and we were just kind of like all together that whole night. I just remember that night. That was one night I'll definitely never forget. So it stunk, man. And then it was like it was just crazy though. I'll never forget. It was almost like not in like a in a bad way. It was almost like relieving in a way when my brother stopped playing, and then it was just because he stopped playing like 5 games in, so we still had pretty much most of the season to still play. But I just remember like going to practice and games, like how uncomfortable I'd feel just like looking at my brother, like knowing he was playing while he was like sick. I just like hated that feeling because I just like even when I saw him get like bumped in the games and shit, like I just wanted to like I always just got like anxious. So it was like, but yeah, I remember some of those times for sure.
Definitely, and we're gonna get off the somber stuff too. I feel bad that I
No,
took us
no,
down
no,
this
dude.
road,
No,
but
don't feel bad at all, dude. I lied. I don't. I don't. I honestly love talking about it, man. It's everyone has different paths in life, man. So it's cool to talk about.
no, and his is inspiring because just so you guys know that it is a very happy ending. Hopefully, we get him on the pod one day, but
Yeah,
he
yeah, for sure.
he's doing incredible things, so he's all good now.
Yeah,
And
yeah. He's been in remission like on going on like 6 years now. So
definitely. And so
yeah.
moving on from that, I kind of want you to explain just your high school story, whether it involves hoop, whether it doesn't involve hoop. You went to a few different places. You can get into as
Yeah,
much or as little as you want, but I think your story is pretty cool. So I'd love to hear what you think about it.
yeah. So obviously, I started my high school career out in Fairfield, and like I said, well, we just kind of picked up where I left off. My freshman year was when my brother got sick, and remind you, I said this earlier in the podcast, but that eighth grade year, I did it in Canada, and so when I came back, it was like I came back, and all my friends that I was once friends with, like was all excited that I was back and stuff, and it kind of sucked because my brother got sick, and I mean, we were also talking like about the family stuff too, and this all kind of adds up. But like when my brother got sick, I literally just didn't have like a freshman experience. Like I totally, and I wish I could go back. Obviously, being older, like I would have probably treated it differently. But I really kind of like avoided my friends, and they asked me to like come out all the time, like this and that, like a lot, and I really didn't. And the only time I really did was if it involved basketball. That was kind of like my escape that year. I just played basketball, and truly, my freshman year was like one of my best years ever. Like I still think I'm like that was like when I was like the best at my like I think that was the peak of like my shooting when I was like like when I was like a peak of my like shooting career. But anyways, so like my freshman year was like pretty much like just surrounded around my brother being sick and then me playing basketball. So I would just leave the house to like go play basketball. Otherwise, I just like wanted to be home. I don't know. I just like felt. I don't know. I just like couldn't really. I liked being there, and I don't know. I don't know. It was like it was just a challenging year. So my freshman year was kind of like I kind of went to school and well, actually no, I didn't really go to school much that year at all. Like the guidance counselor would have to like come get me from the come. She would drive her car from school midday, like come to pick me up because I like would not come to school just because I kind of shut down with my brother obviously. And sophomore year though was great, dude. My brother came back and he literally like came back and like you would have never expected it. So my life like went back to normal, dude. I like got really social. I got a girlfriend my fucking sophomore year, so my life kind of changed. And me and my brother were back playing together. It was awesome. He like came back. It was like first team all league. I had a pretty good year, so but that's when my social life picked up for high school. So that's when I started like going out more with friends and stuff like that. And I honestly didn't start like drinking or doing any of that type of stuff till like it was my like senior year. And but fast forward from sophomore year, my high school experience definitely picked up, and I was definitely enjoying myself more. And then junior year was an interesting year because it was a year that was my brother's last year, so. And I'm sorry, I feel like I keep talking about basketball so much, but like this is just kind of goes to show how much it kind of like it revolved around my like high school life. But
Definitely.
this was a year that we were supposed to be really good in basketball. We were like 11-1, but junior year was great, dude. This is when like my life. I think I kind of like broke out of my shell because I think everyone that knows me as like a pretty social guy, but like like I said, when my brother got sick, I kind of like I really kind of faded away from that. I don't know. It kind of changed, but junior year was when I was like really like everything felt back to normal. Like, and it was great. Like I was hanging out with all my friends that I grew up with, and I was I started going out to like parties more and stuff like that. So definitely like enjoying myself more. But so that year, fast forward, I got freaking thrown off the basketball team along with my brother, and crazy situation. We could get into that another time.
Yeah.
But it's because it's too long to cover. But
yeah, it
fast
is.
forward, it was pretty hurtful. Because it was, I'm not going to say caused by anyone, or I'm not going to say it was caused or done by anyone, but it just kind of showed a lot about people that I grew up with my like whole life, and even like the coach that I had, parents, and it showed. It was the bittersweetness of Fairfield. You talk about Fairfield a lot, but like I said, it's a very competitive town. People want the best for their kids, and and that kind of got in the way of our success. And me and my brother got the short end of the stick on that, and we, had to basically got removed from the team. So that was like a downfall my junior year at that point.
Can I interject real quick?
Yeah.
Can you explain what it felt like? Like you were a kid when this was happening. Like I don't know how old you are, but
dude, it was
you're a kid.
Yeah, it sucked because I mean, at this time, our basketball team was doing really well. We were, 11-1, and the kids on the basketball team are, in our town were, more well-known kids too. So it was like, social kids, and everyone was kind of like, felt a part of like the basketball team almost because we were like playing well. So like when this happened, dude, it was like I had kids every day like coming up to me saying like, "Why would you like do this, this, and that?" And it sucked like having to try to like explain myself to like every kid. Like it was crazy, and like kids that I was close with, being with every day, like just literally passing by them in the hallways, like we didn't even know each other anymore. And then on top of that, me and my brother are kids at this point, and the papers are literally bashing us, like bashing me and my family, like pretty shameful, dude. Like, when you look back at it, me and my family probably could have took that to the legal side if we really want to, but dude, my family's just not like that at all.
Yeah.
So, but it was like pretty shameful, dude, what the media in this like county was kind of doing to us. Like, it was like, dude, first of all, you're talking crap about like young kids, and not only that, dude, you're saying false things. So it sucked, dude. It was very embarrassing at this point, but
and And one thing I'll say is, so I was at a different school at this point, and we had just come off like a classic game, and you guys were obviously a great team. We were kind of almost like rivals this year. And I'm
Yeah,
sitting,
you guys gave us our only loss
yeah,
that we were part of the year team that year.
and I'm sitting in bio or chem, it was chem, and I'm getting live tweets from the coverage people of our town, and they're talking about you and your brother, and it was like a reality TV show, and I can't imagine what that felt like for you, and that's why I'm so grateful that I got to know you later on because I heard all these things from all these different like sources, and you're like one of the most genuine people I've ever met. So like it was so great to get to see the other side and get to really know you because it really was like a reality TV show of the FCAC, which was funny.
Dude, yeah, it was, man. Especially, yeah, like I said, I had to do like a lot of explaining, and it was a lot as high school kids. It's like it's like the you just it's like everyone in high school like obviously you know like loves some attention, but like dude, that was like some very unwanted attention at like a important time of our lives too. It was like my brother was figuring out committing for baseball, and I was like trying to get basketball looks, and it was like just a terrible like look for us. And yeah, it made us look shitty to a lot of people, but we always always just stay true to like who like we're like whoever knows us and whoever got a chance to like know who we are like deep down like knows who we are and like what like kind of what happened. So we never really worried. We were just like, what the hell, dude? This is pretty crappy.
No, 100%. And I'm sure there's a lot more to the story, but one thing that I want to ask you about, just because you brought it up earlier, and I think it's important for, I don't know where this podcast is going to go. I don't know if it's going to go anywhere, but say it gets to high schoolers that are looking for inspiration at some point. Can you explain what it was like to have a girlfriend of 3 years in high school and what that did on your mental well being and how it affected like relationships that have come in the future and just what was
Yeah,
that like?
yeah. I think high school, man, it's crazy. It's it was funny because for me, it's like you hit those years when you're younger, like you hit a point where your mind gets aware of the sexual stuff with with girls and all that, and and uh and sorry, one sec. Yeah, no, your mind like becomes aware of all that stuff. So you kind of like sit there and wonder, like, holy shit, like when will that ever like come into attack? But like high school for me was like the first time I was like really like in like a serious relationship. But I think, dude, they're like I don't know how to. There, I'd say there's just very pros and cons to high school relationships because I'll tell you one thing: 90-something% of the time, it's going to be a waste of time. At the end of the time, like at the end of the day, you're going to feel that it was a waste of time because like it's probably going to go nowhere, and you're going to spend some couple of years or whatever. But hey, that's not to say there are some like high school sweetheart stories. So that's why I'm saying not all the time, but most of the time, you won't end up actually being with that girl that you're with. But the cool thing about it is it teaches you so much. Like it just teaches you like a lot, dude. What happens is like for me in my relationship, like the girl that I was with was awesome, dude. She was like so nice to me, whatever. Like she did a lot to me and a lot for me. But like it was both of our like kind of first relationships, so like our heads were like very into each other at first, and then as the years went on, she was a year above me, so she was going to college, and I was like kind of thinking, this isn't gonna last, so I kind of started to like fade away and wanted to start doing my own thing, and I kind of handled things like in a way that I wish I handled better, like nothing like crazy, but just you look back and you say, that's why. So that's why I'm saying high school relationships are definitely good and bad at the same time, just because they're probably not going to last, and you'll probably wish like, shit, I shouldn't even have wasted all my time in that relationship because I could have been out here doing a lot of other things, because relationships are very time consuming.
Yeah.
And what I found with mine was that it's very clingy in high school. Like you feel like you like need to be by each other's side like all the time, and it's just like not like that. So like I'm glad that I'm at the same time, as much as maybe it was, you feel that it could have been a waste of time, it's also just a very you look at it, take it as a learning experience, and just so it's interesting, dude. High school relationships, man, for sure.
Yeah, no, and it's funny. I think I'm a bad influence on you because whenever we're like hanging out, you never have a relationship. But then as soon as as soon as like we're not hanging out or we're on different sides of the country, you have a girlfriend right away. So it's kind of funny
Yeah,
to notice that. But like, no, yeah,
yeah, dude.
I've never seen you as like girlfriend guy really, or maybe a little bit, but
Uh,
no, it was cool. I was happy that you weren't on girlfriend guy because you were a pretty elite wingman back in the day. I think
dude,
we ran the pick and roll a few times, pick and pop, and just did some other
we did,
things. There's some hot
and
tubs involved and some beautiful women at times. So no, so I'm grateful that you weren't girlfriend guy when I knew you, but
yeah, yeah,
it is something that I think you did. It was 3 years, right?
yeah. No, I had a girlfriend from like the start of. It was like actually like in the. I think it might have started in the summer after freshman year, so right before sophomore year, and pretty much all the way up until like my senior year, dude. So like I was single right when I freaking came to right when me and you linked up, man. My senior year, obviously. Uh, Story continued when I got kicked off the team. I transferred schools the next year, so I came to you, and that's when we officially split up. So I was, dude, I'm so happy that I got to be single during that year, and not even because me and you and just all of our friend group had so much fun, like just living like the single life and all that. Because I think we just whoever it was, like we all had a great time. But what I was gonna say is I'm glad that I didn't have her anyways because I was in such a new environment that like, dude, that would have just been like too much, you know.
Yeah.
So I was glad that we broke up. But yeah, it was like pretty. It wasn't quite 3 years, but it was pretty damn long. And then yeah, so that then once I came to Wilton my senior year, I was single.
And can you talk about that process of going to Wilton? Because I'm going to share my side of the story, but I'd love to know what yours was, just because it was funny,
Dude,
like it was straight up hilarious.
it literally like sometimes I just like I said, like everyone has their different paths, and this was just my path, and yeah, I think that I'm so grateful for it, bro, because like Wilton was literally like, truly like coming over to your guys' town was like, dude, was like the best thing that ever happened because like, dude, like like we were talking about before, it was such a shitty situation with how I left off with my old school and the basketball program and all that. And I was looking for prep schools, and this was at a time where like it was like one. I was only going to go for for like 2 years, I think it was, because I would have been So I would have had my senior year at a postgraduate, and maybe if I wanted a postgrad, but dude, the schools were like outrageously expensive because we got on the process like so late since I got like thrown off my team midway through the year. Um, so, anyways, Wilton was literally like last resort. It hit like August, I remember, and my dad was we have these really close family friends that are Italian in Wilton, and my dad was like, "Listen, like you know, someone, the family member said that I can stay with them, this and that," and I was like, I was like kind of just like not. At first, I was like, "Dude, there's no way I'm going to transfer to a school that's literally like 10, 15 minutes away from my hometown, and is in the same like conference, all that. Like that's just crazy." And I was like, at this point, I was like, dude, there's literally no other option. And I had known you and literally one other kid, and I messaged you on Instagram, and I was just like, that's when I like told you about it. And freaking next thing you know, I come to Wilton, bro. It was like it was sick. But you want me to like dive into the year, just like how it went and all
No,
that?
I'm just gonna share a story. So I
Yeah.
go to Willen. I actually only went to Willen for 2 years, and I get a DM from Antonio or from Tony like 2 days before school, and it says, "Yo, what day does school start? I may be coming." And I was just like, I was like, "What?" And like we
First of
didn't.
all, that just sounds so like crazy.
No, yeah. First, it was hilarious because it was 2 days before school, and also we didn't really know each other. Like we knew of each other. We had been around
Yeah.
similar circles, but this was just like an out of the blue DM from someone that would really help our team too. So it was a double edged sword because one, I thought it was confusing, but two, I was like, hell yeah, come to our school. So it was. I remember just being so weird, and I think we had you come to a pickup before you even knew if you were coming to school, and that was kind of like how you met everyone, and it kind of just went from there. I don't know. It was.
Dude, I'll never forget, man. You drove that freaking dude. You drove the Pontiac down to the court. It was awesome.
I was gonna see if you remember that. That was
Oh my god, dude! I'll never forget that. Yeah, I remember that, man. Yep.
no, and like the also those courts are great. We could get into that maybe later, but
Oh, yeah.
no, yeah, and so you could get into your Willen experience a little bit. What was it like to go to a new school senior year and really be immersed in a completely different town? I think Fairfield and Wilton have their similarities, but also have like a ton of differences. So I would love to know what you thought about like the transition, especially at such like an older age.
Yeah, dude. It was, dude. It was crazy, man. Because, like I said, like I really didn't. I didn't know. I mean, the only kid I knew, like I said, was pretty much you, and I like barely even knew you. We just kind of knew of each other. So coming to Wilton, I had known of like I'd known of this town, played in this town, been to this town like so many times, but I never would have thought I'd be going to like school there. But like you said, yeah, it was dude coming there. It was like I mean, I think for any high school kid, like transferring publicly would be like you kind of be like a little bit like, what the hell? Like, how's this gonna work? Like, this is gonna be a little weird, you know. And especially, I only had 1 year there, so it was literally like, got to try to make the most of it, or it's probably just gonna be a crappy 1 year because it's not like I had a couple of years to kind of like really engrave into friendships. But dude, I have so much like respect for Wilton because coming from Fairfield, like the Fairfield side of town look is like kind of like Wilton's like Fairfield, but like they're a little more like snazzy. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah,
that's how it would be like portrayed from this side. So I guess coming there, dude, like from day one, bro, you were just you and every guy that you introduced, all the boys that we're friends with now, like I think like from dude like that first week you just like introduced me to everyone and it was just like I don't know like it seemed like I couldn't I think it all hit me so fast. I was like in a new area, new school, new environment, bro, like with all these smoking hot girls, bro.
no, there.
One thing I noticed was like Wilton was like a very like kind of like a it was definitely one thing I noticed about it was like the school was the school aspect of it, I noticed how serious most kids in Wilton kind of like took school. As much as everyone like loved to have fun, bro. It seemed like for the most part, a lot of kids were on top of their school. Whereas like at Ward, you could find more kids. At my old school, you could find more kids that kind of didn't give a shit. So that kind of hurt me a little bit because I would find myself, I would find myself in those towns. And as you know, Scotty, I'm not like the best student. Like,
Yeah,
in fact, I could be a better student if I tried. But I just sometimes I don't know. I just school is just I'm getting better at it. But in high school, I was kind of like learning about it. But I think Wilton helped me because like everyone, like dude, I always saw like you doing your homework and this
no,
and that. And
you did. You saw me doing my homework during free period when I had to turn it in the next period. Like
well,
I.
that's true. Well, that's true. Yeah. But one thing I'll say is like no matter what you had to do, I just remember like you would get it done. And,
No,
like,
it got
I
done.
would leave. Yeah. So and kind of everybody. So I like that. Aspect.
That's one thing I will say about Wilton is kids get 3.5s. It is what it is, but
Yeah.
they're turning in enough assignments where the teacher is going to struggle to give them anything lower than a B plus.
That's what I'm. Yeah. And it was great. So it definitely pushed me in that aspect. And I think like I don't know how to say this in a different like in a it definitely is it's a different social the social status of people are a little different in Fairfield because like I said Fairfield's kind of close to Bridgeport, so like we do have some minorities, and we have like more diversity than Wilton, so that would be so it's like kind of like the side of our town that's really nice would be very equivalent to Wilton, but there's different. So that's where like the main difference would come from that I saw about going to school. Is like in Wilton, it was like pretty much mainly white people at the school. But dude, I was just so impressed at like how nice like everybody was to me. It was like crazy. Like I was coming from like Fairfield, I felt like people really wouldn't like me honestly. And you, dude, like I always I mean I think I've always told you this, and just I always like respect you like just forever, man. Just because I got just the way you like you and your family, just the way you guys like kind of like really took me under your like wing that year, like because like whatever like you pretty much did that year, like whatever plan you had, I was like pretty much a part of. and that's how like I got engraved with all the people that you knew and everything. And dude, it really turned out to be like one of the best years, dude. It was like we had like it was like that. If you want to know like the biggest difference, like Wilton kids, fucking my god, do you get prepared for college because they have such a
Yeah.
good time, man. In Fairfield, I was going out to like a party, and I didn't really drink up until or anything like that up until like my senior year. So up until my junior year, I went out to like a couple parties, not too many, not a couple, but not like crazy. Like at Wilton that one year, within like maybe the first month, dude, we went to like two more parties than I've been to, and that's when I started like opening up and having more fun. So it was great, dude. Like just and it just like some of the experiences that we had with a lot of our friends just with fairly with families that they do well for themselves. Like some of the experience we had were just awesome, bro. It was just a crazy experience, bro. Like I don't know,
I
felt like a
also
dream,
think,
bro. It was all the best year ever.
yeah, no. So first off, I'm gonna say, like, you've told me that a bunch of times, but you don't realize that I went through the exact same thing the year before because I transferred in the year before. So I literally had such a soft spot for your situation because I was the upperclassman coming back too, and I knew that you were at even a bigger disadvantage because you didn't even know these people. Like I at least went to middle school with them. Like you were coming into a whole new environment, so like obviously you're just a great guy, so that was part of it, and I think we've become great friends because of it. But I actually like I went into the year when you told me that I had such a soft spot for your situation because I knew how hard it was. You're transferring to these schools that have engraved friend groups and you have to kind of find a way to fit in and you have to find your circle and you have to find the people that you can connect with. And so I tried to
Yeah,
be one of those guys for you because I remember how hard it was the year for me or the year before for me.
yeah, dude. I think anyone who's from Wilton, one thing I picked up on it is like it's very people are very like not to say this in a bad way. I'm not saying this in a negative way, but it's very clicky. Like people are really friends who with their friends with, and people don't like to step outside the box that much. It seems like in high school, but once you grow up a little bit, it seems like everybody kind of comes together, which is nice about Wilton that I've seen at least from my experience. But in high school, you're kind of like very clicky, so it's like that almost even put me at more of a disadvantage. So that's why I'm saying, dude, if it wasn't for you, man, like I would have been kind of screwed because it was already hard enough to like. It's like you guys have been, or at least you came back, but like you said, you went to the to middle school with them. But these guys have been friends like for years on years, and here I am coming for 1 year as a senior, like and you freaking got me into the guys that you're friends with, and mind you, like I mean, not being biased, but like, dude, I don't think there was like a group of kids in the school that had more fun than we did. So it was like you didn't just get me into like any friend group. It was like, dude, I was like having the most fun within like the first week.
Yeah, no, and I really do think we lucked out just peer group wise. I think some of the guys that we got to hang out with a lot are like killers. Like I think you can name 5 people from our friend group that are just going to be extremely successful in life, and it's just good to be exposed to people like that at a young age that also know how to have fun. And like you said, it prepares you for college. And like Wilton's like almost a stereotypical high school in the way the cliques
Yeah,
form and the way the one group parties and the other group parties and where they're partying, whose house. It's almost like a reality TV show, and I got to stop using that word. It's becoming a buzzword, but it felt like it at times, and it's cool that at least we got to meet some incredible people during our time there.
yeah, dude, it was exactly, dude. You're right. It really was, and it just like you said, bro. Like there was guys in our friend group that 5 people that are going to be very successful, but probably if you met them, there'd be like 5 people that will also like have the most fun that
Yeah,
too.
no, it
So
works
it's
out.
like that's that was my point to earlier. Like I saw like all these kids who like have a great time, but like dude, they like make sure they get their shit done, and that was the part that was good for me to see because I think in high school I was kind of more like basketball first. And I was like, holy shit, man, these kids, like, don't get me wrong, man, they have a lot of fun, but they get their shit done first.
Yeah, and so you just brought it up. I think we'd be doing our listeners a disservice to not talk about some of these things, but let's talk some basketball moments. I think we should start with the obvious one. Was I don't know if you would think this is the obvious one, but I think it's the obvious one. I would say it was your coming out party at Willen against Trinity when you took over, and we ended up losing this game. But it was the first time you were coming off an injury. You didn't have the preseason you wanted because you were out and you were adjusting to a new offense and everything like that. But that Trinity game was the first time we really got to see you at your, I think, full strength, and it was fun to see from my end because like you're a hooper and you just needed an opportunity to play. Like you went through the stuff at the high school before. You knew that you were this really, really talented guy. You'd had flashes of brilliance in like high school, and now with a new team, nothing's guaranteed. You come in and just have a game like that. Can you talk me through that and just maybe the beginning of the season and what it felt to really just like have like a breakout game?
Yeah. I'll just quickly round up and get to that game. But it's just coming to the school. The year prior, obviously, I got thrown off my basketball team, so I that like hit me hard, and I started working really hard, like the hardest I've ever worked in high school. So I got to this point in high school, like once I hit summertime going into senior year, I thought I was gonna like come back and really have a really like good year and a successful year, which it still panned out to be good, but obviously, like you said, I got injured. And it sucked because I just, like I said, I was working hard and I was coming off a really good AAU time and I was feeling great coming to Wilton because, like, the style of offense we kind of ran was like kind of good for the way I played and the way some of us played. So I was like super excited, and then boom, I freaking snapped my finger, and that puts me up for like 3 months because I have like 4 pins in my finger. I like snap it in the worst way in that preseason game, which I'll never forget your face, bro, when you saw my finger. And then you remember the season started and I came back and I sprained my ankle. So like the first 10 games, it stunk for me because I wanted to like do like as a kid, you put so much pressure on yourself because especially being at a new school, I'm like, I want to prove to you guys like so badly that I'm like obviously a good player and I want to help the team win. And I just felt like I was not doing a good job of that in the first 10 games. And it was like half anxiety and half like I literally was honestly coming off injury. And I was in a very good workout regimen at that point, and I like didn't pick up a ball for like a couple months. So it took me some time. But that Trinity game, we get to that Trinity game, and I think that was honestly the first game maybe the first game that Joel honestly said you're going to come off the bench. I don't know if it was the first or second time he did it because there was like maybe 4 consecutive games where I just didn't play that well. Like I remember I didn't really produce much. So I remember him telling me you're gonna come off the bench, and I came off the bench that game. I don't know what it was. I think it was just I think it just came at the right time because I think that was when I finally started feeling good again. But it was also like a wake up call at the same point where I was like, all right, here's like the wake up call. Like, I'm coming off the bench now. I gotta like show what I'm about. And I don't know. I just remember zoning in that game. Just really that's when I felt like shit. All right, now I'm here. But I just remember we were playing Trinity, one of like better teams in our league. I think they lost in the championship that year. But dude, it was a really good game, and I think some of our guys were struggling that night, so it was a good time for me to come out because we, had a really close game, but we ended up losing, like you said. But yeah, dude, I remember coming in and I like scored right away, and I knew right away. I was like, I know, I feel like myself again.
Yeah.
And I just started seeing stuff going out, and yeah, you're right. That was like the first time I felt like I finally was hooping out there.
And so now, since you mentioned your first shot going in, I got to talk about another game where your first shot came in. You also came off the bench this game. Just take me inside your head for Richfield because it was one of the coolest things I've seen, and playing with you that game was one of the coolest things I've been a part of. Like with in a friendship.
Vice versa, bro. Vice versa. That game for me is like top of the leaderboards, bro. Like that game for me is like it honestly gives me chills just thinking about it. Especially that it was, that you had to do with it, growing the friendship we have now. Like, it was so cool to be a part of it. Like, it was just like the coolest thing ever, bro. It's like these two towns that literally fucking hate each other and just had faced each other in the FCA championship the year prior. We're kind of like struggling a little bit, and they're freaking like 11-0. It's at our place, and this is like the first time I'm ever being a part of this, and you guys are all telling me about it, and like, dude, I just remember, dude, I had so much fucking adrenaline in that game. They like that day, the whole day, and I remember they moved the game earlier because like, so many people were coming, and like I just remember like Coach Joel telling me that I was gonna come off the bench again, and I just honestly, I like nothing was going to throw me off because I honestly, for a second, I thought probably he would start me that game because I played so good. But he was like, you know what, we're just going to keep it. And I just let my head. I was like, dude, nothing's throwing me off for this game. Like, I'm happy. Like I can't wait. And I just remember sitting there watching you fucking hoop in the beginning. I think we actually went off to like a slow start. They were up, but then I remember you.
They were up like 10. So they were up
they were
like 10. I think. Am I mistaken that you came in and you got a few buckets and maybe picked up your second or something and came out? Because there was a point where you came in, took over.
So what happened was I think I scored 8 points in a row.
Yeah.
As soon as I came in. So I like came out hot. I remember getting checked in and I was just like smiling like, holy
Sick.
fuck.
It was one of the sickest things I've ever seen. It was an out-of-body experience watching this.
No, I'm going to be honest. I think that even most people that were there definitely like saw it was kind of like an out-of-body experience for me. Like I just had like an extreme confidence that night. I don't know why.
You were talking so much shit. It was unbelievable. It was like you would score. You were like, get the fuck off of me. It's like you cannot guard me.
Yeah, like it was just it was like everything clicked in my head at the right time, and it was great. I don't know. I kind of blanked out, and it was. No, but it was amazing because it was literally just fucking me and you going back and forth. And then you're right. I pick up my second. So I maybe finished the half with like 10 or something like that.
Yeah. And I think I finished.
Crazy.
I think you came out with like 10 minutes left. And I don't know why. The adrenaline was just there. It was a sold out crowd. Our fan sections were nuts. They had bobbleheads of us. Or not bobbleheads, but fat heads. I kind of just thought it was like my turn. I was like, okay, I got to take over now. And
No. It was cool because like we were both just like, I mean, like, I don't know. It was really our nights. Like, it was just our nights. I don't know.
No, there's a tweet. It's like Brancato's got 15, Cunningham's got 19. We're a minute into the second half. It's like, okay, like that's stupid.
It was honestly, dude. Yeah, no, that game was just it. That game was. There's truly there's nothing really like it was. It's like the most packed you could get a gym for a high school game, bro. And we won that game too.
Yeah.
They were 11-0, and we gave them their first loss, and it was fucking amazing, bro. That second half we like picked off right where we left off. The second half we really just like took over, and it was just. And the cool thing about the second half, I don't know if you remember, we were going towards our crowd, so like every time we scored, bro, like our crowd was right there, and it was just like. Dude, it was every time it was just so fun to just do anything. It was like amazing.
No, some of the memories I have from the first half, like I had one like snatchback 3 that was like stupid.
It was crazy.
And I turned back to the fans and like.
And you shot the arrow, right?
It's etched in my brain. Like the white and like the jumping up and down. It almost looked like a snowstorm or something. Like it was ridiculous.
No.
And like.
Dude, no, it was, dude, for high school kids looking back, dude, like, I played, me and you are fucking experienced college basketball players at this point, dude. I've never experienced an environment like that at the college level.
No,
not even close.
It's not the same.
The first half was just as cool as well, going towards their crowd. And, like, remember they had to even stop the game for a bit. Somebody, like, threw a fish on the court, dude. It was crazy.
Yeah, the weight room chant, I heard that around the dinner table for a while. I was getting that the entire game.
Yeah, no, and what'd they say about me, dude? They were saying
some egregious shit to you, I think, actually.
No, it was about me transferring, bro.
Yeah.
It was something like
Fairfield reject, right? Or no?
Oh, Fairfield reject. They were going Fairfield.
And you were killing them.
And it was great because every time I was just silencing them, so I was just having so much fun, bro. I don't know. I felt like, dude, I don't know. Honestly, if there was ever an experience that we could have that kind of felt almost as if you were playing on the stage of like an NBA game, that is the closest we'll ever get. Even though that's obviously not close to it. That's kind of what it felt like.
No, I'd agree with that. And like, it's something that I hope if high schoolers ever hear this, I don't know what the deal is with this podcast. I'm kind of just doing it for fun. But like, when you're on these high school teams, even if you're the best player, like, please cherish these moments because it's actually not the same in college. Like, you play for the love of the game in college. Like, you're playing for no one. There may be, like, one cute girl that you like at the game that you want to get some buckets for, but, like, that's it. Like, there's one girl. Like, it's it's not like you're playing for an entire school. Like there's a freshman at my school right now that used to watch me play when she was a freshman in high school, and like she remembers it, and it's because and you know what? She doesn't come to the college games, but she went to the high school games.
Exactly.
It's the nature of the beast.
Yeah, exactly. No, you're right. And it's like the thing about college too is like you said, like, you know, if you're even worried about, like you said, you know, there's like, you're probably worried about one cute girl at the game getting buckets for her. Like, but the thing about college that I've realized, I mean, unless you're just like that dude and you got it different, for me, it's like, dude, if I'm even worried about all that, then guess what? Like, somebody's gonna like surpass me before I even know it. Like, so like it's a competition in college. Like, whereas in high school, if you're the best player on the team, like everybody knows it. But dude, if you're the best player on the team in college, like people kind of want to come at me. You're like people want to be where you are. So it's really a different experience at the college level.
No, in college it's good because like I actually went to a decent amount of high school games this year because one of my old assistants took over a high school program, so I would go support him a little bit.
Yeah,
And
that's awesome.
going back and seeing the high school games gives you a lot more appreciation for D3. But straight up, like there's good hoopers in D3. It's don't get me wrong. I'm not naive in the fact that we play D1 teams and lose by 60. Like that's a fact. But like if you put any of these D3 guys in a random gym, they'll cook. Like they'll actually cook anyone in America. So like
Yeah.
it just is.
Yeah.
It's very competitive, and that's why I think college basketball is so fun because you're actually playing against great guys all the time, and it makes it hard to go back and play with other people because you're used to a certain level of knowledge and a certain level of like skill every time you're on the court, and then when you go somewhere where it's not like that, it's a little difficult. But no, it's if we can have our listeners learn one thing, just know high school basketball is going to be more, I would say, community based and more friendship based, while college basketball is you're competing every single day for your spot, and it's the wild wild west out here, I think. And like obviously, me and you have been through a lot in our college careers, but you're competing every single day, and that's just a fact of the matter.
Yeah. And like, yeah, and like you said, bro, like freaking, I mean, like you said, dude, basketball is like so competitive now, bro. It's growing like by the year. Like you said, dude, D3 hoopers though are, and you keep referring to, I hope somebody is watching this, some high school kids, bro. I really freaking hope some high school kids watch this that are getting looks from some D3 schools and that maybe feel a certain type of way about D3, bro, because you're going to be in for an awakening, bro.
So
D3, I remember coming into college thinking like, yo, I'm about to like run it up over here, like kind of coming off like, you know, I just not like in a cocky way, but I just thought going D3, I honestly felt in high school my goal was to get a scholarship, so I felt that I kind of like I don't feel this way at all now. It's just coming from my past, the way I used to think. I honestly thought I kind of almost settled, like going D3 in a way, and I thought that I should like be able to, you know, be really good. And boy, did it fucking slap me in the face, man. There's some good ass ball players, and I was on a Division III team this year for half a semester, Salisbury, Maryland. And we beat a Division I team, and we were, you know, the team. I was only with them for, you know, not even like a quarter of the season, but they went on to being I think like a 500 team. So like it's like goes to show you, man. Like there's some mother effers out here playing D3.
so just going off that, I want you to give your honest opinion on D3. Like your honest opinion on the day to day, how it makes you feel, the best of times, the worst of times, just in case anyone ever listens. Because I think you obviously had a interesting story in high school for how you got to become a college basketball player, and an inspiring story because you fought through a lot of adversity, and you had to learn a lot about yourself at a young age. But just tell our viewers about what D3 basketball is and how it makes you feel, and just what it's done for you or not done for you.
Dude, you gotta like the difference with D3 is like you gotta love it because D3 for most places that you're gonna go are gonna be, you know, you're playing Division III basketball, which means people have a choice to watch the Division I teams, which are usually in most schools. There's a Division I team within an hour, 2 hour, 3 hour radius. So most people are going to probably gravitate towards those teams. So number one, you're not going to get that much like that external motivation where like people are like really watching you like that. It's kind of more like, your circle, your friends and, your family will know about what it is, but it's not going to be like any like crazy crowds. I mean, if you start going, no, but that's the cool thing about it. If you make some noise, then you could have those crowds. But I'll say like you really got to freaking love it because it's like you're putting in just as much effort as a Division I player would be, but you're not going to get any of like that spotlight or anything like that. So if you're looking for like some type of rewards playing D3, then it's probably not for you, bro. You got to like really like love it, and you got to have some personal and just some goals, just whatever. You got to like love the game and definitely. But I think playing D3 is a great experience because a lot of Division III schools, they don't have frats and things like that. Greek life, more of them are smaller, don't really have that. And for some kids who, have trouble.
I lost you. I don't hear you. Yo, I think I lost you for a second. Yo. Maybe leave and join back. I'm not sure. You're just gone for I can't hear your noise at all anymore. Yeah, something happened. I'm not sure. All right. We'll get Mr. Soprano back in a little bit. We'll
Right, but like here I
Oh,
am, like year
got
after
you.
year, with the
Yo,
same mindset. Like I'm gonna find it, and I know it's there. And I think that now it's just all these experiences have made me better. But one thing I'll say about D3 is uh, the good thing is the two places that I've been at is you spend a lot of time with these guys. The good thing is they were both places I was at was two great groups of guys. So like it was great to have those friends, and I feel like you develop guys that you're probably going to be friends with for life. And it's cool, man. It's like it's definitely D3 basketball. It's a lot more than basketball, bro. It's a lot more than just that. It's you create like some nice friendships. You go places. It's just I don't know, dude. It's good, man. It's a roller coaster, man. It is.
yeah. So just letting you know, I lost you for a second there. We can circle back. I caught the tail end of what you were just saying. I'm not sure what happened, but no, yeah. There's so many pros and cons of Division III basketball, and I don't think this is either of our personalities. But like for people that are on the borderline of being able to play, and the ones that just kind of stop working and use it for what it is, it is good to be on a team. Like straight up, you're invited to better parties. You hang out with prettier women. You hang out with women that are more like-minded, especially at D3 schools, or guys that are more like-minded than your traditional peers at these, for the most part, like small liberal arts schools. But like, what does it feel like to be one of those guys that obviously is one of the hardest workers on the team, if not the hardest worker, and like you have a season where you score 5 points like per game, and people don't realize like they may hear 5 points and think it's really bad. It's not actually that bad. Like it's college basketball. The numbers are completely jacked. Like no one shoots well from the field. No one does really anything up to their capability. It's just like who has more self confidence in February.
Thank you. Yeah, you. Yeah, I found college is D3 basketball is very situational. Like you said, dude, numbers are very skewed, man, because there's just there's like it's very situational, and like you said, it's kind of just a really mental battle out there. Like D3 is you got a lot of guys who are around. 'Cause the big difference of D3 and D1 is like I'd say more so like that crazy size and athleticism combined than just crazy freakish talent. Where and D3 guys are around the same talent level and skill level. Like, there's obviously some freaks out there, of course, but it's a little bit more even than Division One. So it's really fucking competitive, and it's like it just turns into more of like a mind game because like it's just, dude, if you can create that, if you can keep that self confidence throughout the year, then you're gonna be good. And that for me, my freshman year, I was able to keep that self confidence the most I've been able to, and here I am 3-4 years later. That was my best college year so far, and I'm sitting here 3-4 years later, and I know I'm definitely a better player than I was at those years. But I just haven't been in the right fit yet. So it sucks being a guy out there like just playing lesser than you could be, and it's just I don't know. It sucked, but I know that I'm speaking to a large crowd. One thing I've learned is like there's a lot of guys out there that are dealing with things that I'm like dealing with. So it's it's very competitive, dude. It's a mental battle, and it's taught me a lot, bro. I've changed my life in some ways now, especially after this last year, because it's like I went through some difficulties with my first school, and things started to get better, but then I ended up leaving just because I thought I got to a point where I was better and I could have went somewhere, and I found out what, the grass ain't always greener. I got kind of hurt again with my ankle, and things didn't work out, and then I just like had a lot of time to myself, bro, like self thought, just bro, I'm starting to feel like I really am, controlling the mind game a lot better now these days, and feeling like all this kind of has prepared me that if I do get another shot, I'll be ready. So
Yeah, no, and I was just gonna say this, just my piece as finishing out and seeing it through. I don't know what it is, but just the years of it being tough and the years of you not playing up to your capabilities, it just prepares you for I think life in a lot of ways. Like I think I'm a better person because of it. But also when you do get that opportunity, which I know you're gonna get if that's what you want to do, the mind games stop happening. Like once you know like this is it, you don't play those mind games anymore. You actually just tell yourself, you know what, I'm a good basketball player and I've been good and this is what I'm good at and this is how I'm going to affect the game and I'm going to try my hardest to help the team win today. And it's honestly such a liberating feeling because I went through it. Like we know we're mental midgets. We went to a pickup game this summer and we're the three best guys there and we get like swept and we didn't make a shot. We
yeah,
actually got punked and we're sitting in the car. We're like, should we quit basketball? Like, is this like what are we doing here?
yeah, exactly.
So yeah, no, I'm saying this like, and I'm gonna. This comes off or comes before my next question, but I'm just saying, having the last go around, it like, and having time to yourself. Like, I got suspended last year. Like, I had so much time to myself and so much time, like honestly, around my parents who were disappointed and stuff like that, to really think about like how I can really change my life. And a lot of it had to do with just quieting my head on the basketball floor.
Dude, I feel like you're a little bit it's almost like you're ahead of me right now
Yeah,
in our paths of life, because like that's what I'm starting to figure out. I'm putting myself so much at peace with my head and playing basketball, and I'm like, holy crap, man, I've been like this better basketball player this whole time, but I haven't fully been able to like show it. Some of it being situational and some of it just being my fucking mind just not allowing me to like be that player that I want to be out there. And I feel like I'm starting to figure that out, and just going off what you said, bro, like that mental peace that you have with yourself, bro. For everyone, bro. Like obviously, I've told you this, but I'm so proud of you because obviously we fucking shared so many moments of us like just being so down on ourselves because of like how much we want to succeed and how much me and you like. I would say even for the college basketball, definitely in high school. At the high school level, we 1,000% passed this spectrum. Like what I was going to say is like we work out a lot more than I'd say than the general people playing basketball. Definitely at the high school level, and even more so like because we've been around college teams too, and I know we both work out more than like the average college kid as well.
no one
So like
works out like us. Straight up, like we've been
yeah.
grinders. Like and like it sucks because when you're not playing well and you're a grinder, it's almost like embarrassing. But
Yeah,
like
exactly.
we've been
So
grinders for a while.
yeah, so we've shared so many fucking of the same mental demons of playing basketball. And to see you overcome it, bro, is unreal, bro. I just never, dude, like that was amazing. Just like looking at like how you ended off your year and shit, bro. It's like honestly, bro, really brought a sense of happiness to me. Just and it's great to see you do it. It's almost like, dude, like I could do it too. Like here's Scotty doing it. Like it just kind of gives you more confidence
Yeah, no, and
to
you're
show it.
and I can say this now because we're done playing hoop. You're better at basketball than me, like straight up. In every single, I think I'm maybe a better shooter, but you're a better basketball player than me, and I've known it. And like that's why you got the higher all conference team in high school because everyone else knew it too. So like I know it's gonna
Yeah,
happen now. But okay, so I'm a big like manifesting guy. I feel like you got to speak stuff into existence in a lot of ways. So I just want you to give the listeners your best case scenario for next year. I want to hear it from you now, and obviously everything like trying to plan in advance is almost a fool's errand. But it, I think it is a good thought exercise, and I honestly
yeah.
want to know. Like I'm excited for
No,
you.
I've
Like
been
I,
trying a lot of new freaking exercise. I like that you're saying that because I do agree, dude. That you really can do. You can do anything you put your mind to, and I've just learned that put your mind to something, and if it doesn't go that way, bro, then you got to flow with it, man. My for me, the next year, I would say, I'm just working out, right? I'm working out a lot, getting back into a good workout regimen right now. I feel good on the court again, and I'm just working right now, making some money. But I'm taking some classes, and I'm gonna start reaching out to a bunch of schools. I actually have a workout with the school on like Monday, and but I'm looking at some schools kind of locally within probably like a 2-3 hour radius of my house. So I'm hoping to maybe end up somewhere around here. But my first option that I'm really thinking of is maybe pursuing going to play basketball in Canada at university there because there's a university in my hometown that I kind of always wanted to like play at because I spent so much time there in 8th grade, like working out there, and it really like kind of made me the player I am, or really helped me shape the player that I've been today. And I have Canadian citizenship. And it's weird. I just feel like I had such a good year there that every time I go there, even when I go play basketball, I just have like this mental feeling about it. Like I'd love to go finish off there if that would be possible too. But if not, within the next year, man, I want to be playing somewhere, bro. I want to be playing basketball, and that's the truth. Yeah, so I'm hoping I'm playing basketball at another school, and just want to finish off school, and like you said, have that like last nice year of like clarity.
and you deserve it too. Like straight up, when you work that hard over such a long period of time, it's it really is like it weighs on you to the fact that you almost like not that you need it, but I felt going into this year, I was like, I need to be able to tell my kids one day that hard work's worth it.
Exactly.
And I would struggle if I didn't have that year. So I'm really excited for your next year, 100%. That Canada thing sounds.
Shit, I can't hear you guys.
Oh shoot, what's up, Randy? But yeah, no, that Canada thing sounds sick, honestly.
Oh, Randy. Yeah. No. Yeah. Exactly.
Word. What's up, boys?
What's up, dude?
Randy, bro. Wow,
What's
what a
up,
surprise.
man? It's been too long, Toni. I haven't seen you in forever.
Yo, I'm glad you brought this dude on, bro. Holy crap, yo, I'm happy to see you, bro. Holy crap.
Yeah, bro, it's been crazy. I don't know how long it's been, but we
Yeah,
gotta catch up.
Are you still local, bro?
No, I'm in Philly right now.
Oh,
I'm
okay.
back at classes. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I
No,
got here during COVID, but yeah, finally got back.
Dude, us three need to link up, man. Jesus.
Yeah, no, this Randy, you think you're gonna be home this summer or no?
I won't be, but I'll be visiting weekends and shit.
Okay, yeah,
I'll
that
be at
works.
classes.
Yeah, Philly's not too far.
Yeah, no, it's 2.5 hours, so I can come down any weekend. But yeah.
Okay. Well, yeah, no, Toni, are you good? Did you say all your piece? Everything you wanted to say? Because I do want you to be content with the interview at the end of the day.
Yeah, no, I think so. Yeah, I'm pretty sure. Yeah, I think we covered nice stuff.
Sweet. All right, let's.
Interviewed?
Yeah, I did a little formal.
Don't interview me, mother.
No, I'm not. Maybe I'll have to do it later on, like when, because I do eventually want to talk to you about engineering, because I do think that's cool. But we can just talk current events right now. What do you guys see in the news?
Oh, bro, the thing I was just thinking about this before. The thing that's crazy to me is how quickly everybody turned to random bullshit versus the Ukraine-Russia war.
What's the random
Like,
bullshit?
like Will Smith and fucking Chris Rock at the Oscars, like that blew up. Gas prices blew up, but that kind of related to the war. So yeah.
All right, that's
But, like,
actually a good.
Meme community wise, like no one is giving a shit about the war anymore.
Yeah.
And it just so quickly passed. Like I don't know, it's crazy.
No, it's the infographic era we live in. It's like once the infograph isn't cool on Instagram anymore, no one gives a shit. It's like the Israel Palestine thing.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
There's literally a war going on and no one gives a fuck.
I was gonna say it's just, dude. It's not the first time, man. They just pull the wool right over your eyes, bro.
Yeah, no, bro. And now people are starting to get worried about gas and gas prices. Russia's like, oh, we'll cut off gas. And I have a feeling like some people are gonna be like, oh, fuck it, let Russia have it, and like we'll get our gas back.
No, okay. Since you brought up gas, let's talk about it. Randy, I don't know how like environmentally conscious you are, if that's something you like think about in like you're like I don't even know.
I'm decently environmentally conscious, I'd say.
Fire.
But like I agree, there's a need for like our nation to have their own supply of gas.
Okay.
Times like this, especially.
And we did have one.
And we had it.
It's upsetting. It's honestly just upsetting because we saw it happening before our eyes too. We're like, okay, we're the number one producer of oil. Let's just stop producing oil. It's like, okay, what's going on here?
Dude, yeah. I remember reading something not too long ago about obviously our past, when Trump was in office, whatever. I remember reading something that we had like enough supply to fucking last us the next like 20 years, like no problem. Something like that.
Yeah. Wow.
And it's like now we're fucking just relying on obviously other countries. So,
Randy, your first big car you buy with like a real paycheck, is it going to be an electric car or is it going to be a car you put gas in?
Probably not. I'm not a huge fan of electric. I'm decently like I support environmentally conservative things, but I don't feel the need to throw away gas cars.
Yeah, no, I agree. I wouldn't mind having a Tesla just because they're like badass.
Teslas are nice.
Yeah.
Teslas are.
But like if I had to get, if it was a Prius or a truck,
honestly, I would love to go German. I've been Japanese my whole life with my cars, and like one German car could be pretty nice.
Yeah, and
German, I love German cars.
Oh my god,
driving German engineering. Who said that again?
Oh wait, what did you say?
Driving German engineering. Isn't that from like First Day Out?
Yeah, that is from something. Yeah.
Yeah, no, you've always been a Japan
German
guy.
engineering is insane. It's always been insane.
Yeah.
So.
No, so Randy, you brought up Will Smith. What's your take on it?
Bro, I hate it honestly because I think it's stupid that like it's been in the news for this long and everyone's reacting about it. But like one thing is, as a comedian or a host at a show, like you really can't interrupt the show. And like Will Smith apologized, they really took away every award from the show. I don't give a shit about the Oscars. I was probably gonna see like 2 headline posts at most. But the one thing I found out was like fucking Samuel L. Jackson won his first Oscar.
Really?
And I found that out so much. Yeah, him. He won his first Oscar, and I found that out so much later due to everyone just talking about this slap.
Yeah.
Which I kind of was annoyed by. I was just like, oh, like this was so much back in the news just because everyone's talking about this shit. Which honestly, like, all right, defend your wife, but I don't know.
My thing is like
with defending his wife technically, and then also like, yeah.
You can't be the wife defender though.
In the middle of an award show with a comedian host, you gotta expect some stuff like that, and like kind of gotta roll with it. To like hit the comedian is like it's gonna take away from the whole show, and yeah.
Yeah, no,
and then also to scream at him afterwards in the crowd. Like, yeah, okay, now it's like too much about you.
And he's such a great actor too. Like he just stained his career, which sucks. Like he has so many like seminal movies that I
Yeah,
remember
and
seeing.
he won an Oscar that night, but like no one's talking about him winning an Oscar. Everyone's talking about him slapping Chris Rock. Which what the fuck?
Yeah. Have you guys seen that movie, the tennis one?
What was that? King Richardson?
Yeah, that's the one where you won it for, right?
Yeah. I didn't see it. I did not see it.
Yeah, I got to see that. I heard it's pretty good.
Yeah.
Tony, what do you think about it?
About the Will Smith?
Yeah.
Dude, I agree with Randy. I don't like how much freaking publicity it's getting. It's like, dude, we're making it like seem like obviously whatever emotion side you're feeling, like we're putting such spotlight, and even people are starting to now say they're starting to feel bad for so and so, feel bad for Chris Rock or Will Smith. It's like, dude, feel bad, but like, bro, these guys are doing pretty well for themselves. Like they're okay. Like, but obviously, I thought that was definitely the wrong way to react because, like, you know what their job is going up there, being that host at the Oscars. Like, dude, Ricky Gervais, like, you know, like he said way worse stuff than that. Like, and everybody sits there and takes it. Like, so I thought the way he reacted was pretty crappy. But then I don't know. I don't know. I thought it was. I think it's. Yeah. I thought. Yeah. Definitely a shitty situation. But I think at this point, I agree. Like, it's stupid to have like this much news coverage.
Okay, so let's take like a broad look at just comedy. Does that mean that making fun of a guy's wife is off limits, like officially? Like, what does that do for comedy?
Exactly. Like, he totally like fucked the whole spectrum of like making jokes, bro. It's like, and at the same time, it's like, I don't know, dude. It shames Hollywood a little bit, bro. It really does. I don't know.
Hollywood's already been shamed to shit. I can't.
Well, yeah, exactly. But it just goes.
But I was glad for Samuel L. Jackson to win his first. I don't give that much of a fuck about Will Smith winning one of his first because one, that happened. Two, like, he just had bad press over the past like 3 years and just hasn't looked great, honestly. But yeah, I mean, he's a good guy. Too bad. I don't know. His wife seems like a bitch.
Yeah, no, it's his wife. That's also another thing. The whole wife thing is definitely plays a role too. It's like you've actually been letting other guys like have sex with your wife. It's like maybe.
Oh yeah. That I'm sorry, I didn't bring that up. Sorry to cut you off, but that's another thing. It's like, dude, you're like sticking up for your wife so wholeheartedly, but here you are, like just okay with another dude banging her, like.
It's like I don't know. I don't know there.
Yeah, bro, it was so funny. Like, one of the memes I laughed at the hardest about it was like, you know, if it was the other way around, Jada would be laughing her ass off. It was like, probably true.
No,
probably
dude, it's
true.
It's literally true.
No, it's kind of brutal. So this is just something for our listeners. We're recording this during the Final Four. I don't know if you're watching, Tony, but I'm not even pretending to watch. Nick, have you been paying attention to any of the games?
I've been watching basketball, bro. I fell asleep at some of our home games. I'm sorry. I wanted to support you guys, but middle of wrestling season, I was caring about cutting weight a lot more.
No,
Kansas won.
Yeah.
Wait, what's up?
No, I just said Kansas won.
Kansas won?
Oh,
I didn't even know that.
Yeah,
I haven't kept track at all.
Tony, you make a bracket this year?
Yeah, I actually made I made a couple, and I had a Kansas winning them, one of them. So.
Really? Is that one for money or no?
Yeah, it is.
I actually made my bracket like 10 minutes before it closed, and I just did one like $10 challenge. I knew I didn't watch one college basketball game this year, so I just didn't even pretend to like put effort into it.
Yeah.
I did not watch any as a player in the middle of the season.
I hate it.
I just don't.
No, I don't hate it. I actually
like watching.
I appreciate it more, but I don't like to watch D1 basketball because it's actually embarrassing. You're like, these dudes are so good, and like I spend so much time on this sport, and like if I was on this court, I'd be getting exposed right now.
Yeah, no. So I was watching NCAAs for wrestling a little bit, and this guy's absolutely wrecked my shit. So
no, so Tony, I know your team actually beat a D1 team. But we played a D1 team from California. It was our coach's old school, and so they full court pressed us the entire game. The guy guarding me was 6'6", 220, and like I turned it over 7 times in the first half. I was like, this sucked. I actually like I it was the closest I've ever been to like crying. Like just like I was getting bullied like out there. It was actually bullying, like bully behavior. And then we go in the locker room after the game, and their coach comes in. He's like, "Hey guys, like I told the guys to go hard on you so you could learn." And I was like, I hate you. I was like, I don't.
That's so funny.
I was actually on the bus after, like, cursing him out. I'm like, that fucking asshole just came in and, like, and told me he was trying to make me better. It's like, dude, I'm 6'0" I weigh 150 pounds. Your 6'6", 220 NBA draft prospect is picking me up full and turning me 4 times and then picking my pocket.
I weigh 150.
I know. I'm bigger now. I've gained a few pounds since the season ended.
Okay.
But, dude, during the season, I actually shed weight. Like, I'll go in 170 and I'll walk out 148.
Damn.
It's like sketchy.
How? I can't even lose that much while trying to wrestling. I can't believe that.
It could be the eating disorder. I'm working on the eating disorder. But that's the thing. When you're eating out every single meal, you almost develop an eating disorder. Because you just, like, you don't want to go drive 20 minutes somewhere. Like, you'd rather just stay in the comfort of your home.
Yeah, no, that's true. There are days where, like, I laze around, and if I don't work out or anything, I don't get that hungry. So I need, like, one meal in the day.
Yeah. So, Randy, I'm curious, what do you do for working out?
Yeah, no. I just started jiu-jitsu.
Hell yeah.
Jiu-jitsu for a bit.
You're probably money at that, too.
Yeah, no, it's been going pretty well. I'm still, like, working on some wrestling habits are bad for jiu-jitsu. Like, it leads to easy submissions for, like, people that know how to do it. So,
and do you go with your boy?
Habits, but what?
Do you go with your roommate that I met?
Yeah. I'm going with him, and then also, like, he's more lifting weights, but yeah, he's still going. I'm mainly doing this. I don't know. I've liked it a lot more than lifting weights. So, yeah, I've just been focusing on doing that.
No, weights are heavy, dude. I'm done with weights. I don't think I'll ever pick up a weight again.
I think I'll go to weights after I get injured in jiu-jitsu.
Yeah, that's probably fair. I'll probably go to weights if I get hurt playing basketball. But
yeah.
Dude, so tell me about it, though. Like, do you feel, like, the way your roommate was describing it, and you probably don't have to feel this way because you're the baddest man in most rooms you walk in and you know it. But, like, do you feel better knowing that you can just, like, submit the fuck out of someone, or you've always felt
100%,
like that?
bro. One thing I realized was that, like, jiu-jitsu and wrestling and everything like that is more not only a physical workout, but it's like a mental workout because you have to be, like, remembering moves and thinking about your body position and everything like that while you're rolling. So it's like, I don't know, it's also a mental challenge, and it just, at the end of a workout, even if I'm sore as hell, I feel a lot better.
Yeah, and so what was I going to say? Yeah, no, so I lit on this yesterday. We were talking about wrestling, and he was saying wrestling's like the biggest like character development sport there is. But we were also saying it's like an art. Do you feel that way at all or no?
Oh, for sure. It's just like jiu-jitsu is an art, or Muay Thai is an art. You know, martial arts, like the art of fighting. Any of those styles can be considered an art because there's so much learning to each style. Like, there's so much time that people dedicate to these styles of fighting, and like none of them really consider themselves full masters. They're always knowing like there's more to learn, and like
No, yeah, my buddies just picked up Muay Thai, and it's pretty cool. They just come back just drenched in sweat.
Yeah, I picked it up for a bit. I liked it, but I don't know, bro. I'm better at grappling.
Yeah, I was gonna say
every time I was trying to do it, I would when I started getting hit, I would revert to a wrestling stance, like just by instinct, and it would be bad for like striking. So my coach would yell at me, and I'd be like, "Fuck, man, I can't like stop myself from just switching and wanting to like tackle him."
That's pretty funny. And my friend said, because like they're both basketball players, they're taller guys. They said like they're at a like definite advantage, given that they can just front kick anytime and just get anyone off them.
Yeah, true. Only problem is jiu-jitsu and wrestling are like by far the top 2 in MMA, and then the closest is like boxing with 5 championships.
Yeah,
So,
no, I don't think they want to. I don't think either of them want to pursue it professionally or anything like that.
yeah, no, it's great to know kickboxing, like of course, but like the one thing I thought is like when someone's kicking me, if I'm allowed to, I'm just gonna grab their leg.
No, I was gonna say this too. Whenever,
like I'm just gonna take it, and then they're standing on one leg. So
that's why if I'm ever gonna pick up a mixed martial art, it's gonna be jujitsu because every single bar fight ends up on the ground.
yeah,
Unless
for the most part, unless this dude just one punch knocks you the fuck out.
Yeah.
Which is always scary. No, I'm definitely gonna. And if I'm ever in that scenario, I'm gonna pick my fights. I think I'm pretty ready for most people, but if I see like a 250 dude, I'm gonna be like, yeah, he probably has the power to knock me out in one. So I'm gonna let him like pass on that one.
Yeah, completely fair. Well, like Randy, what have you been up to? Like, what do you do for fun now? I'm curious. I know you're definitely busy. Like for reference, listeners, Randy's an engineering student, so he has his shit together in a big way, and he's learning a lot of cool things. But like, what are you up to?
Yeah, well, I just ended co-op. I was on a 6-month co-op in Center City, so I got my first real like civil engineering work experience, and it was actually really fun. I got more of an idea of like what branch of civil engineering I want to go to. So right now I'm really considering structural and water resources.
Yo, I don't mean to cut you off, boys. I might have to jump off though.
Okay.
All good.
Well, Tony, it was great to talk to you.
Yeah,
again,
dude,
man.
it was great to catch up. If you guys are on in a little bit, maybe I'll hop back on. But I gotta go do something.
No, honestly, dude, I'm gonna do this every day. So hop on another day. It'll be great. Like, dude,
Randy, so nice to talk to you, and we all gotta get together soon, bro.
Yeah, no,
sure,
and Tony,
sure.
the other episodes are a lot less formal, so you're not gonna be getting grilled on every episode. It's today was kind of a special edition. I just wanted to kind of catch up. So, but like,
dude, that was lit, bro. I appreciate it, and I had a good time.
Awesome. Well, Tony, dude, we miss you, and we'll see you soon.
All right. See
All
you,
right,
Tony.
boys. Miss you guys, and always wish you the best, boys. Love you guys.
Yeah, sure. Love you too, man.
Love you too.
Peace. All right, we're. What's up, Scott?
What's up, bro? Call me Francisco.
Wait, what's up?
Call me Francisco. My name's Francisco DeConia.
Ah, Francisco, what's up?
It's my favorite book character of all time.
Gotcha. Anyways, but yeah, I've been just working this job. I kind of have a better idea of what I want to go into exactly, like discipline-wise.
So civil engineering, what's like the broad description of that? I just like, that's all outside of my wheelhouse.
It has a lot to do with, for the most part, it's like the planning of construction.
Okay.
So there's a lot of different fields you can go into. Like, for example, I worked in highway and bridges, and just in that, there was utilities, traffic control for, like, during construction, water resources to track stormwater runoff and everything like that. And then, like, structural, which was all bridge design.
That's cool.
So I worked in basically all those departments, and I got a little bit of experience in each.
So this is a question. Oh, no, go. Sorry.
Wait, no. But definitely the ones I focused on the most were water resources and structural. So I'm considering those two for like professional electives when I get to them during senior year.
Heck yeah. No, so one thing I'm curious about, it sounds like a lot of that is in the design aspect. Do a lot of engineers become architects or no?
No, because architecture is a lot different.
They just draw it, and then you guys do the science behind it?
Yeah. So my freshman year roommates, 2 of them were architects. And basically, it's a lot more art focused, I guess. It's not exactly about design or engineering, but it's a lot more like creating a good look to the place.
Okay.
And then where an engineer comes in is saying whether his design is even physically possible or not. And like talking through and working stuff out with the architect is like all part of the design process for most things.
Okay. And so talk to me about, so you must have to study a lot of materials. Like how does that work? Because if you're like determining the feasibility of projects, you got to know a lot about like different
Yeah.
malleabilities, like stuff like that. How is that study going, and like what does that look like?
I mean, so that is like basically everything we use in construction. So it comes to the beams we use, the strength of the steel, how much stress it can take before it would collapse. And you have to apply safety factors for that. So like most of the time they do at least 2 times safety factors. So like even like worst case scenario, the most calculated load, they'll calculate for 2 times that just to be sure it won't break. You know, um, so like that's one thing with beams. There's concrete where you test out the mixes and make sure the concrete slabs that you're making a building with are all uniform and like good for construction and won't just fall apart. There's actually a problem in Stanford right now with a concrete slab in an apartment building just falling down on cars.
Shoot.
And yeah,
Dang.
they're working through that. So that's definitely a problem with some engineering that someone forgot to check out.
And, yeah, and
But
yeah, no, go for it.
yeah, and then there's soil testing. I'm going through soil mechanics 1 right now. So a lot of times whenever you're making foundation, you have to check the ground underneath, make sure it's not going to collapse under when you build this massive weight above it. Um, so there's a lot of that stuff too. So basically, any part of construction is tested, and like you have to account for how much load it can take and what will be the stress it can take before it collapses, and all those calculations are like just part of any structure that's made.
That's cool though, because like I feel like out of everything I've heard about people learning in college, that's like the most applicable. Just like even just being around the house, like knowing about different materials and knowing how they operate, knowing what their uses are, is just like a good life skill to have. Like no, even if like engineering aside, like if you are a homeowner, like those are probably good things to know.
Yeah, definitely for sure. And like I don't know, but like I'll definitely like try to look at that stuff whenever I'm considering buying my own place and everything like that. So
That's cool. I didn't even think about that.
it's definitely good.
So
Yeah,
you can almost prospect the house yourself. Like you can almost do yourself like your own evaluations if you are like,
decently on the land, I guess. I don't have much knowledge on architecture and like future real estate development and everything like that.
fair, completely fair.
Yeah, but yeah, no. One thing I want to definitely get into. So my most recent co-op was a public company. So they worked specifically for the government, and it was mainly like just highways and bridge projects. Anyways, part of working for them is like it's a great connection and step in, but eventually I think I want to get into more residential, like probably like someplace like the Fairfield County, like nice houses where I'm building private houses for these people and like help them zone out those areas. Because I kind of like that idea of more of like a nicer projects and tight, and like more closer relationship to the client rather than working for the state of Pennsylvania, the Department of Transportation. You know.
Yeah, no, and I feel like that'd be cool too because then all the projects are really like individualized. Like
Yeah,
you know who
yeah,
you're
no,
working for.
you definitely have a lot of like different scenarios you can run into. It's more diverse, I guess.
Yeah, and you get to like meet more people. Like
Mm.
when you're doing actually, you probably meet a lot of people through government enterprises or different government organizations.
Yeah, no, it was pretty good. I got to make a decent amount of connections that I'm gonna make sure to work on keeping, just because it's a step in Philly, and that's really what I want out of graduation. So
Yeah. And so, what's your timeline again for graduating? Just like remind me.
yeah, so I'm in my 4th year out of 5. I have spring, summer for classes, so that's why I'm gonna be staying in Philly for the most part, and then another final co-op fall winter, and then 3 quarters. So I'll probably be ending either September 2023 or November 2023. But yeah,
Awesome.
almost there. almost there.
Yeah, and I know you've always been able to turn it on, but I know your true feelings about school. Like I think you're learning kind of cool stuff right now, but you're not
Yeah,
you're not the biggest school guy that I know.
yeah. The one thing that I like more is that in these current classes we're taking, uh, a lot different from the first 2 years. It's a lot less theoretical math and science and construction materials, and more applied. So it makes me a lot more interested in the topics. Like, I think it's just once you get to this part in engineering, the professors are a lot better and they know what they're talking about and they're all accomplished in their own fields. So it's a lot more entertaining listening to them
Yeah,
rather than before when I was just learning about integration to the second degree and everything like that. I was just like, okay, this is great. Glad I know how to do this math, I guess, but when am I going to use this for my actual job? And I just couldn't find an application in all 6 months I worked. And, it just kind of like, I was like, okay, like, I guess I know how to do integration now, but like, I don't know when I'm going to actually use this.
yeah,
So I'm a lot happier that this term, at least so far, I'm just my first week right now. Same with the third year terms actually, but anyways, I'm looking forward to this term where it seems like my professors are used to applying it to real life problems, and it's a lot more easy to listen to and not doze off or look at YouTube or something.
yeah. No, definitely, and that's something that I think I noticed with you when we were in the same high school classes. Is you when you were not challenged, you could check out very easily because you have a certain set of skill sets that if you walk into the class you do the work for us. It was not like whether you being there and you really applying it. Like you already knew this stuff somehow, and you would just go in
Yeah,
and do it. But you weren't challenged, and therefore you didn't care. In like some cases, not in every case, definitely. But
yeah, no, for sure. Like, I mean, there were challenging classes in high school that I was ready to take, but like not necessarily because I was half focused on wrestling, half focused on partying, and not much of the focus was on school. So you know, it could have really led to me challenging myself, but like I dropped down to the classes that were a little bit below, and kind of cruised through high school, which is something that prevented me to going to like every school I considered. But I'm glad I finally found like a good fit at Drexel. So
no, it is a
you
good
know,
fit for you because
yeah,
I can notice it in your voice. Like you at least sound passionate about what you're doing, and like honestly, I
mm-hmm.
can't say the same. So like as school wise, at least. So like
Yeah,
it's good to hear that one you're learning kind of very applicable and real world cool things, and two that it just seems like you found your piece there. Like in a lot of different ways. Whenever I see you, like you seem like you're doing you and you're able to do it at a place that really I think works out for you. So it is cool for me to see at least as your friend.
yeah. Thank you, man. I mean, that means a lot. And yeah, I mean, I visited Colorado once. I gotta see you next time I come, man. Like,
I think I was out
it's
of town or
just
something. There was something going on,
yeah.
and it's
No,
also
but
like if I was in season, which I think I was, like there's not a
you're
chance I can
definitely in
see anyone.
season. I came during ski season.
Yeah.
But
No.
yeah,
No. Yeah. No, dude. I'll be home at some point. I don't even know, but who knows
yeah.
where
No,
I'll
you
be.
just gotta let me know, man. Because I'm telling you, I could drive down on the weekend.
No. Every time we are like able to be in the same town. I do think me and you do a great job of connecting. Like almost every single time you're in town and
Yeah,
I'm in town, we do
yeah,
hang out,
for sure.
which is
I feel
good.
like we're never home and miss each other.
Yeah. Did
But yeah.
you? Are you coming home for Easter?
I am actually. I got a happy birthday text from my uncle, and he was like, "We're so excited to see you for Easter." And I was just home last weekend, and I was like, "Fuck, I guess I'm coming home at 3 weekends again because they want to see me, and I feel bad that the child on Easter." So,
Yeah. No, I'm gonna be back for Easter, so we should definitely grab a beer or sign.
oh,
But
I'm down for that.
yeah, I don't know what you're doing tonight. Dude. This pod's at the 1 hour 43 minute mark, so I may end this one soon. But dude, like let's
Yeah,
you
no, that's
should
all
dude.
good.
When I get lit on here, you should hop on, dude. it'll be definitely more structured in the fact that we'll be talking about certain current events, certain things that
Okay.
we see. A lot of market based. I don't know if you're a big investor, but we talk a lot about the market.
I'm not a big investor, so just like let me know when the market talk starts happening, and I'll just like eat out real quick.
No, but also like when we do these normal episodes, I have a partner like that I went to school with. Now he transferred, so it's like a way for us to stay in touch. But he's probably the funniest guy I've ever met. So it's almost like a stand up deal too.
Okay, yeah, I'd be down for that.
Yeah, no, it's. I just want to make a space where people can like legitimately just like say real things. Like I don't know. Again, this is honestly kind of just for fun for me. It's a good way to stay in touch with my friends.
Yeah, no, it's a good way to stay in touch and like. Yeah, you're right. Like certain scenarios, I don't want to talk about any of my Jackson friends with because it's super liberal to the max, and I'm just like, yeah, I'm over it. So.
Yeah, the name of the
get
pod.
Some mixed opinions in.
Yeah, and we're gonna have people that are left of the spectrum as well. Like I'm not scared of that. I enjoy just like conversation.
No, I enjoy it. It's just Drexel was all that.
No, and it's 95%. And if you bring up your 5%, you're an asshole. So like it's like I'd rather just do it on a podcast with my friends. I don't know.
Yeah, that's fair.
But yeah, name of the pod, Safe Spaces. I will definitely keep you on the loop for when we're recording. But yeah, no, this is dude. Honestly, it's just good to see you, bro. It's
Yeah, no, it was great talk.
Yeah, so I'll definitely see you in a few weeks for Easter, and we should get you on here again. I'm kind of doing these like every day, so I'll just send you the links. Okay. Join whenever you want. I want to get like James on here. I've gotten
yeah, James will be a character on
here. I kind of want to get like Peter on here, honestly.
I haven't talked to Pete in forever. I'd be down to hop on to that one.
Yeah, no, neither am I. I want to talk to him too. So just honestly, like I think the best case scenario for this pod is almost like an advice type deal for not advice, but just sharing different stories about the college experience for people that are either looking at college or freshmen and sophomores in college that don't necessarily know what they want to do yet. Because we're all at an age where we're kind of having to start deciding that. And we have some wisdom. So, like, that's what I'm trying to do. But again, this may just go nowhere and be like a fun thing for me and my friends to do. So, whatever it is, I hope you're involved, though, because I think you have some fun opinions, too.
All right, word. I'd be down for that, man. All right, bet. All right. Well, I'll see you later, man.
Yeah.
It was great talking.
I'll catch you later. See you, man. Be good.
Peace.